Are there any questions?
Having got to this stage, what do you think you should have done better in the beginning?
Well, one of the things we lacked was that we wasn't very structured. We didn't keep to a schedule. So with the first books, we were kind of running very late on that, and we kind of left it till within days until we had to prove it. So what we learned with the second batch of books is that we have to now speed up and make sure that we've got everything structured, and make sure that we keep everything to a schedule, and make sure that we're not too late on anything.
Yeah, and I think realising roles are very important, and giving out jobs, because at the start we had a few people doing everything, which meant everyone was very stressed. We weren't enjoying the company, but now we've realised everyone does have a role, everyone takes their role seriously, and because of that the company has started going so much more smoothly, and we've stuck to the timeline, so our products are just getting out so much better to the market now instead.
Any other further questions?
Social media, or media in general, which do you think was the best, for the messages that you're trying to get across, which was the best platform in terms of getting an impact, and which was the one that actually didn't really do anything for you?
I think social media was the main, but Facebook was where we got it. We put a post on Facebook and we generated plus 200 likes, and it got us, we got numerous comments of people saying they wanted books, supported it, and we got numerous schools also message us around North Devon asking us to come in, read our books, possibly sell it for us, and I think that was really helpful. But it links back to the community. If it wasn't for the community being so supportive of what we do, then I don't think we would have got quite the success that we have.
Yeah, I think we're such a social media orientated generation that Facebook, anyone can just share it, and that meant that an extra 100 people then seen our product. One more share was another 100, so that was great. But I think there's still the articles in the newspaper are still great, because there are the people who may not be on Facebook that see us. Like, every platform was a benefit for us. We got something from everything that we used at the end of the day. So.
Yeah, so like you asked about which was the least helpful, I don't think we could actually say which was the least, because they all gave us a boost. None of us gave us nothing. We got sales from every
different demographic.
Exactly, and that was the main thing with social media. Like I said, it's a younger generation, with maybe newspapers is for an older generation. That was our main ideas. We wanted to capture everyone, and it's not just a certain demographic.
Do you think you were helped by the fact that you started your journey, and then suddenly, it seemed to me, suddenly there was a lot of talk with the stuff on television, Blue Planet and so on and so forth, about plastic in the ocean, which seemed to come after when you made your decision on what you were doing. Maybe I've got my timing wrong.
We started out this process in September, and that was the early days, and we weren't quite sure how to do this. But by October, we knew exactly the problem we wanted to deal with, and I think you're referring to Blue Planet too, which was huge when that came out with the problems of plastic, and I think that came around, November. So we had started to produce this book. We hadn't made it yet, but we'd started the works, and all of a sudden this huge plastic pollution idea came about, and how bad it was for the environment. And it couldn't have came at a better time to us, because the message we were trying to promote was to tell children, but any age really, but especially children, that the problem with plastic, it doesn't decompose, and so that's what we were trying to teach. And yes, when the Blue Planet 2 documentary came out, it couldn't have came out at that time, because people could visually see what we were trying to spread, our message. So yeah, definitely with that, a lot of people have said to us, actually, they've said, I've seen Blue Planet 2 and we saw the plastic pollution of that, and so that really helped us to support our cause.
I think there's definitely, it's been going on longer than we've realised. Just Blue Planet is such a big thing with David Attenborough that really got into everyone's eyes. Before we've met multiple people like Expedition, they've helped just surface against sewage. All these people have been doing it for years, but it's only recently that it's come into people's eyes. So I think people have realised the severity of it, and I think we joined it because it was something personal to us. We live by the seaside, it affects our sea life. But so it was personally why we decided to do it, so we wanted to help the environment. But it definitely was beneficial for us that everyone else started jumping on board with the movement.
But as I said, we did it before the Blue Planet documentary. We always knew we wanted to do something environmentally related. We weren't quite sure how and what process it would be, but we knew we all agreed right at the start that it was going to have to be something environmentally friendly, because living down here, we felt it was so important that this issue was dealt with. So yeah, we always had the idea of something environmentally, and it was just fortunate we had plastic pollution at the time, and then plastic pollution all of a sudden got this massive burst.
Did you have any skills that were missing from the team?
Well, we've definitely noticed our communication skills lacked. We were saying at the start, Harriet mentioned about how too many people were doing too many roles, but that was down to lack of communication skills, because we've got everybody, we weren't sharing enough. Everybody was saying, oh no, I'll do that, and that was it, and it wasn't kind of sharing with the team. We weren't saying, oh, as a team can we agree on this, as a team. It was individually, I'll do that. So our communication skills very much lacked, and since September when we started this, they've improved massively. We've still got a bit more to go, but we've definitely improved massively in the sense of coming together as a team and saying, can we agree on this, can we agree on that, and we make sure we do things at least in pairs or in threes, because we don't think, if you do it individually, of course there's 15 of us within that team, and we don't think it's right for one person to do something, make a decision by themselves. It's got to be a group decision, and so when dealing with tasks, we try and get at least 2 or 3 people to do that certain task.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest problems we face is we're a very bold group of students, very opinionated. We all think we're right. So I think the toughest thing was, especially with the pricing of our book, we had done market research, we'd seen what out there, we realised we're not as big as these other groups, but we've got the story, that's our benefit. And I think everyone's so opinionated, trying to get that decision was very tough for us, but I think it resorted to just majority and putting your foot down and saying, this is this. But I think, yeah, communication was our biggest struggle, as well as making a book. We're a group of 15, 16-year-old kids, and we've never made a book. So I think that was certainly, but now we're on to our second book, we know exactly how to do it, but that was massively a step back for us at the start.
So did you set the price of your book based on what you thought it should be, or did you set it after you knew what the printing costs were?
No, as Harriet said, we did a lot of market research, and a lot, because it took weeks for us to decide it, because everybody had their own price of what they wanted it to be. So no, we didn't look at the printing cost at the time. What we looked at was market research. We looked at numerous other children's books and see what they had to offer and what prices they were charging, and then we tried to base it on that. And like we said, it costs us £236 the first batch, so 9.60 a book, we make £2.40 profit. So we could have made more profit if we increased it to £4 or £5, but we wanted to be fair, but also gain a profit. And also, the profit we get isn't going to us. It's going to a charity, and it's going to a charity, and that's like the most important thing. So we're not too bothered about how much money we make. We want to give as much money back to charity as possible.
I think as well, with the first publishing of our book, we compared it, I think, too much to these big publishers who have been doing it for years, and in our eyes, I think when you create a product, you want it to be the most amazing thing. And I think so there could have been some people disheartened by not being as best, say, as the Hungry Caterpillar, which is this massive book. So people are like, right, we're going to have to cut the prices, no one's going to be interested. But then when you cut the price too much, people go, why is your price so low? There's got to be something wrong with this book. So I think whatever we priced the book, we were going to be making a good enough profit, with it costing 96p a book. But I think it was choosing a price which we were proud to say, and a price which represented our product. I think as time's gone on, we are more than happy to say our book costs £3. So I think that's pocket change to someone, and it's going to an amazing cause. So I think we're happy with what we settled on the end.
Yeah, good.
Anything
Any
else?
further questions?
How did you decide what age group to load it to?
For the book?
Yeah.
We thought that children would be the best option, because at the end of the day, they're the people that will face this problem the most, and also it's kind of hard to teach them the idea of how plastic doesn't decompose and how it gets into the oceans and kill many sea species. And what we thought it would be best to teach them, because it was just, like I say, they face the biggest issue as well, and we just need to teach them from a young age so that they can grow up knowing that this problem will affect them, and they can deal with it from when they're young, because at the end of the day, teaching someone in their 70s about it unfortunately might not be the best, because they're only
Be
here
very
for
careful how you pursue that.
But also we thought writing it for children was also a bit easier for us, and also it made it fun. I mean, because at the end of the day, we don't want to write these massive books. We don't want to. We've thought about selling maybe products environmentally friendly, but at the end of the day, that doesn't really teach the issue of environmental, and we felt it was more important to teach it rather than sell it.
Yeah, it's like with most children books. As a kid, it's just something fun, and that's amazing because I think you're too young to really comprehend it. But as you get older, you realise there's a moral to a story. Like you get to the age, you see all these Disney stories; they've got such amazing morals to it. So I think that was the idea: is a kid will grow up and they'll think actually had an amazing moral to it, and they're grown up, so they can grow up making these changes. But I think the older demographic, they've grown up. It's harder to get out of something you're used to. I think so. And it wouldn't have been as enjoyable for us. I think seeing kids smile and enjoying the book has been amazing for us, and one of the best parts of this process for us.
And I said about, we've been about numerous schools, primary schools, and we've been to some of them. And it's just, being able to teach them and seeing them kind of try and take it in, because, they might not fully comprehend what plastic pollution is and how bad it is for our environment, but they can just take it in to some extent. It's just, kind of grilling that message into them of, this is not good, this is bad, we need to deal with this issue as quickly as possible. And you kind of get a buzz knowing that you've kind of done something good and for the environment, and you talk children about it.
How did you agree the charity to give the profits to?
We've worked with many charities with our beach cleans, many people run them locally. So it made sense. We've gotten to know people within this charity work, and we've actually we've spoken to people. So it made sense to give the money to someone we know and someone we've seen using that money for a good cause, and especially someone focused on plastic, because we could have gone so wide with environment, but our books have just stayed core focus on plastic, not because you've got to focus on one problem before you can focus on every problem. So solve one problem, then you can solve the next issue. That's the way to go. So that's why we chose a local charity who are focused on plastic.